Welcome to AMA Victoria. My name is Grant Forsyth. I'm the OIR advisor for doctors in training. We're going to go through a series of videos highlighting the changes that have been made to the new doctors in training agreement. There is now a clause that sets out the process that a hospital must go through in order to make a doctor redundant. There's been an improvement to the casual employment clause. The clause now clarifies in one place within the agreement what casuals are entitled to. This is including parental leave or unpaid parental leave, as well as payment of overtime for shift work. This clause will now makes it clear that casuals are entitled to unpaid parental leave, access to family violence leave, as well as penalties for shift work and working on Saturdays and Sundays. We have introduced a new dispute resolution clause. This is a significant change to the agreement, and it is a modernisation of the agreement. It now will make it much clearer and much simpler on how a doctor should go about raising an issue with their hospital, and make it easier for AMA to enforce the various clauses of this agreement. There is a significant change to the training time for registrars in this new agreement. Although we have not changed the quantum that doctors are entitled to, we have strengthened the clause significantly and brought it into the agreement and away from the definitions as it was in the old agreement. This new clause makes it much clearer the process that a hospital has to go through to allocate training time, what training time is, and how they have to engage with the registrars at the start of their rotations or their employment to agree to what training time is and how it's defined. Also, there is a process now for what happens if you don't get access to the training time, and how much you should be paid in compensation if you don't get access to it. There is also the ability for the hospital and the doctor to agree to accumulate that leave. So maybe for a doctor it suits them better to do 10 hours a fortnight rather than 5 hours a week. So with the agreement of with the hospital and the doctor, this training time can now be lumped into a bigger section, and this may make it easier for the hospitals to roster this training time. Also, it is clear now in the agreement that what a roster is and where the roster needs to be kept and who should have access to that roster. In the past, we've had issues because training time was not in the roster, or if it was in the roster, not everybody who needed to know about where a doctor was aware of that, so may have been continuing to call. For example, reception staff, nursing staff, or other doctors within the hospital. So in order to stop doctors being paged while they're supposed to be at training, we've asked that we've clarified what a roster is and where it should be kept. The conference leave clause has also been improved. Doctors will be able to apply for conference leave after the 31st of March as long as they give 3 months notice of attendance. So that concludes the overview of the changes that were made to the agreement. We intend to do a series of videos that will go in more depth into some of the more important changes and give you an understanding of how significant these changes are and how they will impact you and your work. Thanks very much.